Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are Arizona.
It's afternoon in Cincinnati. Diamondbacks a little groggy this a.m. after an extra inning game here last night. Great American Ballpark along the Ohio River. This one, the rubber game on a getaway day. The Diamondbacks and the Reds a chance to win this series before we head back home. It's Breakfast with the Diamondbacks on Fox Sports Arizona. Good morning from Great American Ballpark here in Cincinnati, and welcome to the broadcast. Steve Berthume and Bob Brenly along the way. Diamondbacks a chance for a series win here, but some breaking news late last night. Taijuan Walker learned he was about to become a father, so Taijuan is back home in the Valley with his wife Heather as they get ready for the arrival of their first child. And Bob, Patrick Corbin is next man up. He gets the start here today.
Yeah, Patrick Corbin coming off a no decision against the Atlanta Braves earlier on this trip. He left the ballgame with a 3-2 lead. Unfortunately, the bullpen was not able to hold it. You see his numbers in his starts this season. Patrick lately has been throwing a lot of ground balls, which is a good thing in this ballpark.
Luis Castillo, the rookie right-hander. This guy throws 101 miles an hour. He's on the mound for Cincinnati. He was very impressive earlier this month at Chase Field.
He certainly was. 6 2/3 innings, gave up only 3 hits in shutting down the Diamondbacks. Punched out 8 in that game. As you mentioned, a big fastball. He likes to use it. He likes to use it early in counts. Expect the Diamondbacks to be very aggressive against the right-hander today.
An interesting look to Torey Lovullo's lineup. The bomb squad is in there today. We'll have that for you, as well as the first pitch. The Diamondbacks and the Reds right after this on Fox Sports Arizona. Diamondbacks baseball on Fox Sports Arizona is brought to you by Gila River Casinos. The card by Gila River Casinos earns you rewards 10 times faster than ever before. Sign up today at any Gila River Hotels and Casinos location. By Chaz Roberts Air Conditioning and Plumbing. Choose Chaz. By Jack in the Box and the Jumbo Jack, a home run for your mouth. And by CenturyLink, connecting you to the power of the digital world.
For less money. Buy Gigablast, internet from Cox. Get ready for the gig life. Buy Oregano's. Step up to the plate for a guaranteed home run at Oregano's, your neighborhood pizza joint, location statewide. And by State Farm. State Farm is here to help life go right. Talk to an agent today or call 1-800-STATE-FARM.
Along the banks of the Ohio River here in Cincinnati, Kentucky on the other side. Great American Ballpark here. It's steamy 84 degrees. Steve Berthume, Bob Brenly, and Jody Jackson along the way. The Diamondbacks and the Reds, the rubber game of this 3-game set. And here's your lineup for Torey Lovullo's Diamondbacks today. It's brought to you by your Valley Chevy dealers, and as Torey likes to say, the bomb squad is in there today.
We used to call them the Killer Bees, but here's how Torey's going to line them up today. Daniel Descalso will be out in left field. Chris Iannetta doing the catching, batting second. Jake Lamb At third base, Paul Goldschmidt cleaning up over at first. Chris Herman out in right field today with Chris Owings at second base, Ketel Marte at short, Gregor Blanco out in center field, and lefty Patrick Corbin on short notice getting the start here this afternoon.
D-backs now a half game behind the Rockies for that first National League wild card spot. 5 games ahead of the Cubs for the second wild card position. Colorado is off today. The Dodgers, who are 11.5 games up on Arizona for the division lead, are home tonight facing Atlanta. And they won again last night. They've won 31 of 35. Those guys are unbelievable.
Well, you'd like to believe the law of averages. At some point they're going to go 4-31 and make our move.
So the Diamondbacks a chance to get a series win here against Mr. Redlegs and company. There's our buddy down there. Reds are 40-54 this year. They're last place in the NL Central. That's one of the many mascots they have, Gapper. Goodness knows what that thing is supposed to be. They're 10.5 games behind the division leading Milwaukee Brewers.
Pretty sure Gapper's an illegitimate child of Yuppies.
Boy, your Yuppie thing, you're just never going to let that go, are you?
Yeah, me and Tommy Lasorda. Tommy had him chased out of the ballpark one time up at Olympic Stadium in Montreal.
There's Rosie Red and Mr. Redlegs and the whole thing. They got about 9 mascots down there. A hot day to be in those outfits for sure. So the Reds are on the field right now. Your Ram truck starter for Cincinnati, the right-hander Luis Castillo, 24 years old from the Dominican Republic. Only 5 major league starts on the resume. Is 1 win, very impressive. 6 2/3 scoreless against the D-backs at Chase Field. That was earlier this month when he seemed to just effortlessly, Bob, throw 100-mile-an-hour fastballs.
Yeah, very easy delivery. You hear pitchers and pitching coaches talk about the ball really comes out of his hand easily, and we saw that on display at Chase Field. Big fastball will approach triple digits, has a hard slider that breaks straight down, and will mix in an occasional straight changeup.
Nationwide Vision Centers gives us a look at the Reds defense.
Adam Duvall once again in left field this afternoon with Billy Hamilton out in center. Scott Schebler over in right field. Suarez will be at third. Peraza at short. Scooter Gennett at second base today. Joey Votto, the perennial all-star, over at first base. Devin Mesoraco getting his first start in this series behind the plate, just off the disabled list, and he'll be catching pitches for Luis Castillo.
Gabe Morales will be behind the plate this afternoon, calling the balls and strikes. Adrian Johnson's at first base. Eric Cooper at second. And the crew chief Gary Cederstrom is the third base umpire here today. Before we get started, BB, time for your Valley Honda dealers key to the game.
Well, conditions expected to be near 100 degrees here in Cincinnati with high humidity. Fortunately, we have some overcast right now, so the sun not much of a factor, but got to keep your cool. Both figuratively and literally. It's going to be a hot one here today, and the Diamondbacks coming off a tough loss in extra innings last night to this Reds team, so keep your cool, do your thing.
Chance to get back to 15 games over 500 and win the series. Daniel Descalso leads it off for the Bomb Squad here, and we are underway on a Thursday afternoon in Cincinnati, Ohio with strike one. Descalso, 249, 6 homers. 0 for 2 with a walk last night. He doubled and walked twice in Tuesday's series opener. It's a ball and a strike. Look for early fastballs. That's expected to be the approach against Luis Castillo for the D-backs today. So you could see some aggressive swings early in counts by some of the Diamondback hitters. 3 pitches from Castillo, a fastball that this year is averaging 98 miles an hour. Got a hard changeup and a slider that's kind of a pitch. Not really. It's relatively new for him. Threw a lot of changeups in his win over the Diamondbacks. Certainly a lot more than he'd been throwing previously. That was a very effective pitch for him at Chase Field. In typical Daniel Descalso fashion, good at bat, leadoff walk.
Yeah, running up a pitch count will be imperative today against Castillo. Get into that Reds bullpen. Hot, sticky, humid afternoon here in Cincinnati. Make him stand out there and throw a boatload of pitches.
Chris Iannetta in the 2-hole. 224, 8 home runs. Chris walked twice, scored a run in his start behind the plate Saturday in Atlanta. Reds have scored a run in the first inning in both the first 2 games of this series, so it'd be nice for the Diamondbacks to return the favor here. And Torey Lovullo really likes Chris hitting second in this lineup, especially when it's a day like today with a bomb squad in there. A couple of reasons why. He wants Chris to get 5 at bats just to get him more ABs. And secondly, a lot like Descalso, he's the type of hitter who's going to make the pitcher work, get to the next guy, going to control the at bat, organize his strike zone, and see some pitches. To 97, it's 1-1.
All those qualities you talked about for Chris Iannetta, maybe not as much of a factor today because of the guy on the mound throwing that early fastball, first, second, third pitch of at bats. Torey mentioned that they might be hyper aggressive against this guy if he's throwing his fastball in the zone.
He is prone to start walking the ballpark from time to time. Iannetta fights that one off, and it's 1-2. Castillo coming off a loss to the Nationals here at Great American Ballpark. That was on Saturday. He gave up only 3 runs on 3 hits in 6 innings, but he walked 4. Second time in his 5 big league starts this year he's walked at least 4 in a ball game. Iannetta, that's off the bag and down the left field line. Descalso takes the turn. He heads for third. Chris Iannetta, another extra base hit. That's his 12th double. Chris Iannetta has a real knack for this. Now 17 of his last 19 hits have been for extra bases.
Yeah, throws a slider that just never really takes the break, just kind of hangs up there on the inner third of the plate. Unfortunately, this ball banged right down the line. Good shot right there. Hits the bag and skips on into the left field corner for a double.
Chance to put up a big crooked number in the first inning here. Just like last night, this new look lineup which debuted for Torey Lovullo. Jake Lamb batting third, Goldie in the cleanup spot. Second and third, nobody out. Conference time up there. Devin Mesoraco just off the DL yesterday, behind the plate today. The Reds catcher. Jake Lamb, 272, got 20 home runs. And an RBI double that tied the game of the 5th inning last night. Just missed a home run high off the wall in left center field. Suarez in one step on the grass at third. Big swing and a miss. There's that changeup, and it's 0-1. There's Suarez now even with a bag. He'll back up a step or two. Barras, the shortstop, right behind Iannetta at second. Lamb hits one deep center field. Billy Hamilton looking up, and that ball is gone. Jake Lamb, that's number 21, and it's 3-0 Diamondbacks.
It's been a while since we've seen the shock and awe offense of the Arizona Diamondbacks, but what a start to the ball game. A walk to Descalso, a double by Iannetta. Now Jake Lamb with a blast to straightaway center field. That's that changeup. Stays up and out over the plate for Jake Lamb. We were just talking last night about his opposite field power. We haven't seen a lot of it lately, but a drive to straightaway center there to spot the D-backs to a 3-0 lead.
Jake Lamb, Jumbo Jack. Free Jumbo Jack tomorrow with Jack in the Box for the purchase of a large drink. A Lamb slam makes it 3-0 D-backs. 1-1 to Goldie. Off the bat. Oh, that sounded good.
Very firm.
Off the glass back there. 1-2 now. 425 feet on that home run by Jake Lamb. His 21st of the year. That now ties him with Goldie. This is Luis Castillo's 6th major league start. That's his 7th home run given up. Ahead of Goldschmidt, 1-2. Goldie has a couple of hits in the series. He singled and stole a base last night. Doubled and walked 4 times in Tuesday's opener. Hits a bouncer over the mound. Peraza, the shortstop, near the bag. And they retire Goldie. Right fielder today, batting 5th, Chris Herman. 179, 8 home runs. Tapped back to the mound as a pinch hitter last night. The Herminator homered in his start behind the plate Tuesday. He also walked and scored twice in that game. A bouncer to second for Scooter Gennett from the outfield grass. 2 outs. Second baseman today, Chris Owings. This is a middle infield combo of Owings at second and Ketel Marte at shortstop that we may see a little more of coming up in the near future. Trying to get Ketel Marte's bat in there a little more often. 286 and 12 homers for CO. And a couple of hits, including a double Tuesday night. Jumped on a first pitch fastball. It's 0-1.
Well, we speculated the Diamondbacks may be very aggressive against Castillo in this ball game. There's been a walk, a double, a homer, and 2 outs, and he's only thrown 19 pitches so far.
'98 up and in, 1-1. Popped up, foul ground near the Reds dugout. Devin Mesoraco has it. And that's the end of the top of the first. But the Diamondbacks strike early. Shock and awe is back. Descalso walked, Iannetta doubled, and Jake Lamb delivered. A 3-run homer to center, his 21st of the year. 3-zip Diamondbacks. Patrick Corbin coming up. The D-backs is Patrick Corbin. Taijuan Walker was supposed to start today, but the call came in very late last night. Taijuan's wife Heather was in labor with their first child, so Patrick, who last pitched Saturday in Atlanta, steps up to take this one.
Looking for his first win in over a month. He's pitched well enough to win some of those ball games. Unfortunately, has either taken an L or a no decision.
Billy Hamilton leads it off for the Reds. 253, 2 homers, leading the major leagues with 40 stolen bases. He's got 4 hits in the series, singled 3 times last night, scored twice, including the winning run in the 11th inning on that Adam Duvall single. Goldie on the grass at first, Jake Lamb at third. And Hamilton is going to drop one down the line. That's a fair ball. And Billy Hamilton's on the run. A leadoff double. That's his 11th of the year. Let's take a look at the lineup for Brian Price's Reds. It's presented by your Valley Chevy dealer.
Billy Hamilton playing center field, doing what a leadoff hitter is supposed to do, set the table. Eugenio Suarez, the third baseman, making his way to the plate. Joey Votto will be at first base. Adam Duvall out in left field with Scooter Gennett at second base. Devin Mesoraco doing the catching. Scott Schebler out in right field. Jose Peraza at short. And right-hander Luis Castillo on the mound.
So right away, Corbin goes into the stretch with Hamilton at second and Eugenio Suarez the hitter. Suarez 252. He's got 13 home runs. A pair of hits in the series, both doubles. Patrick quickly ahead 0-2. Suarez has hit safely in 5 of his last 6 games. Patrick in that start Saturday in Atlanta threw just 77 pitches in 5 innings. And with the off day on Monday this week, that meant that Patrick can work today on normal rest. So that was a bonus for Torey Lovullo and Mike Butcher to get Corbett in there on regular rest. There's the strikeout. Let's take a look at the Diamondbacks defensively. It's presented by Nationwide Vision Centers.
Outfield this afternoon will be Descalso in left, Blanco in center, Chris Herman over in right field. Left side of the infield will be Jake Lamb and Ketel Marte, with Chris Owings and Paul Goldschmidt on the right side. Chris Iannetta behind the plate for lefty Patrick Corbin.
Joey Votto. Votto singled twice last night. His only hits in the series. He's walked 3 times. Leads the major leagues in walks. Here's the defensive alignment against him. Hamilton takes off for third. Here's the throw from Iannetta, and they got him. Second time in this series the Diamondbacks catchers have thrown out the major league stolen base leader that time. Iannetta guns down Hamilton at third base.
Boy, Jeff Mathis was lightning quick throwing him out at second base last night. Chris Iannetta throwing from his knees right on the money. All Jake Lamb had to do was catch that ball and Billy Hamilton was out.
Look at that throw.
Oh, man.
Wow, that's impressive.
And then do a little, what do they call that in hockey when you rub your glove across the guy's face? Glove wash or something like that, yeah.
It won't get you a Lady Bing trophy, I can tell you that.
Face wash, I believe they call that, but yeah, tag him out and then drag the glove right up his face.
Just a perfect throw from Chris Iannetta. So 2 outs, base is empty, 1-2 on Votto. One hopper to Chris Owings at second base. Patrick Corbin puts up a 0. Diamondbacks after 1 in Cincinnati lead the Reds 3-0. Chris Iannetta from his knees, a perfect strike to get Billy Hamilton. D-backs fans, if you can't watch the game on TV, then stream it live with your mobile device. Use Fox Sports Go. It's presented by your Valley Honda dealers. Just download the app and you'll be able to take Fox Sports Arizona and the Diamondbacks with you wherever you go. The shortstop today, Ketel Marte, leads off the second against Luis Castillo. Good start here for the Diamondbacks. Descalso a walk, Iannetta a double, Jake Lamb a 3-run homer. Marte just 15 games, 207 with a home run. Ketel grounded out as a pinch hitter last night, his only at bat in the series. Trying to get him in the offense a little bit more often. The at bats have been a little too few and far between for Ketel Marte. Votto's got it at first. Well, that one had Joey Votto on the back foot that time. Almost fell over, it looked like, on his heels, but they retire Marte to open up the second. Four in a row retired by Castillo since the Lamb homer. And here's the center fielder batting 8th today. It's Gregor Blanco. 245 and 2 home runs. Gregor flied out Tuesday in his only at bat of the series. Blanco was playing a whole bunch. Had 70 at bats in June, but here in July only 4 for 20. AJ Pollock's return has meant a lot of those at bats for Gregor Blanco have dried up. But boy, did he do a tremendous job while AJ was out.
Yeah, he really did. I was thinking about that last night. When you lose your center fielder, especially a defender like AJ Pollock, obviously you miss his bat, but you need somebody to step in and cover ground in the outfield. Blanco and Ray Fuentes both did that very well.
Adam Duvall just shy of the warning track in left field. 2 outs. Ray on the DL with a thumb bruise. Suffered in his final at bat here Tuesday. Patrick Corbin celebrated a birthday yesterday. Patrick turned 28 years old. Got a late birthday present, a phone call at about 2 in the morning. Hey, can you start tomorrow? Sure. Torrey said Patrick was just great about it. Castillo reaches up and snares that one. Castillo's retired 6 in a row since the Lamb homer, but the Diamondbacks lead at 3-0.
One of the rare few athletes on the mound.
Stud on the basketball court.
Nasty dunker.
You know, he can dunk a basketball, and you know, he's a good golfer.
I did get to play golf with him the other day, and his golf swipe could use a little work.
Me and Corbin are probably the 2 best athletes on the team.
He moves like he's
he could play a couple other sports professionally as well.
Well, this was earlier this year at a Suns game. Corbin, the 360 throwdown. You heard Taijuan Walker say that these are the 2 best athletes on the team, although I'm told that the best 3-point shooter on the team is far and away Chris Owings.
Yeah, well, something to kill the time between starts. All the downtime that players have at the ballpark. They used to actually have a hoop right outside the visiting clubhouse at the old Vet in Philadelphia. Now, it was meant just to go shoot horse, or play something like that. But every now and then a raucous game of 3-on-3 would break out. You worry about somebody getting hurt.
Adam Duvall leads off the Reds' second inning. Duvall, 273, 20 homers. He hit a walk-off single that won last night's game in the 11th, his only hit in the series. Very light sky and a lot of cloud cover right now. Chris Owings looking up into that cloud and sun mix. One away. Could be a lot worse. There is a breeze down there. There's pretty good cloud cover here, so the sun's not beating down on you. It is a little humid. Scooter Gennett, the second baseman.
Especially given the forecast that we'd heard the first 2 games of this series and earlier this morning. I mean, they're opening up some community centers around town. They're distributing fans to people that don't have air conditioning in their homes, warning people who have medical conditions to stay indoors.
Yeah, right now 88 degrees, humidity at 61%. There's about a 30% chance of rain later on this afternoon, around 3 o'clock or so. Gennett had a couple of singles, scored a run last night. 16 home runs, already a career high. Patrick ahead of ball and 2 strikes. Patrick stepping in for Taijuan Walker. If you're just joining us, Taijuan was supposed to start the game today, but the call came in pretty late last night. Torey Lovullo said his phone rang red alert about 1:30 in the morning. Taijuan's wife Heather into labor with their first child, so Patrick could step in because they had an off day here Monday, so he's on normal rest. However, that does create a little bit of a problem moving forward. With Taijuan on the paternity leave list, a spot did open up. Matt Cook is here. He flew all night last night to get here. Corbin just snags that one, throws it over. So Matt Cook flew all night last night to get here from AAA Reno. He is here today, and they're going to need another starter, Bob, by Saturday, and it might be Matt Cook.
Yeah, it could possibly be Matt Cook. And one thing about coming here to Cincinnati, it's not an easy place to get flights into and out of, especially on short notice, like trying to get Matt Cook in here.
Devin Mesoraco, the catcher. That was a little bit of an odyssey for Matt, but he did get here. Ideally, you could slide Cook in Friday or Saturday against Washington, slide everybody back a day. But everybody got moved up with the Taijuan Walker situation. I mean, they thought about maybe starting Matt Cook today, but considering he was on a plane all night last night and early game today, they decided that was not the right move.
That's why you keep your pitching schedule in pencil with many erasers nearby.
We saw Matt toward the end of last year. Remember, he got that spot start for Zach Greinke in Washington and had a no-hitter there for a while against the Nationals. Devin Mesoraco, swing and a miss. Iannetta completes the strikeout. That's the second strikeout for Patrick Corbin, who holds a 3-0 lead here in Cincinnati.
The second at-bat getting hit in the hand by Tim Adelman and had to leave the game. You could see at first his hand was trembling a little bit and certainly sore, and then he went in, got the x-rays. The great news was that the x-rays were negative, and so I waited till the end of the game after most of the guys came out in the clubhouse. JD took a little bit of time, but I did see that hand last night, a bit of swelling in there, and it was bruised. It's still sore this morning. Interesting thing is JD told me that he was never hit in the hand in his career, so obviously some bad luck there. But Torey Lovullo saying, you know, really no question he wasn't going to play in this game, but he is optimistic he could even play tomorrow. But guys, it could take a couple of days, no question. The good news is it doesn't look like it's going to be a long-term problem.
Yeah, boy, I said to Torey today, thanks Jody, I said, did you feel the air go out of the balloon when he got hit? And he said, oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
He said, you know, the whole dugout just got quiet, everybody was down, and then they got the word x-rays negative, and all of a sudden everybody was up again. They scored 2 runs. And that's what the acquisition of J.D. Martinez by Mike Hazen to the front office meant to these guys. Everybody got a big lift. Everybody was excited about the game yesterday. And then that 4th inning, you just thought, oh, are you kidding me?
Well, and the good news came in that the x-rays showed no break, just a bad bruise. And we were still concerned because it's happened before where a guy's been hit by a pitch and goes for an x-ray and they say it's clean. And then when the swelling goes down and they get him in an MRI situation, all of a sudden they find hairline fractures or whatever the case may be. But supposedly the x-ray equipment they have here at Great American Ballpark is state of the art and came back clean.
Yeah, they feel really good about the diagnosis Torey was telling us this morning. And so it looks like he can take a deep breath and just say thank goodness. 2-2 on Daniel Descalso. Walked and scored to lead off the ball game. And Castillo gets his first strikeout.
You know, hearing Jody say that that's the first time that J.D. Martinez has ever been hit in the hand kind of brings to mind Bronson Arroyo, a guy that pitched about 60 years in the big leagues and never spent a day on the DL until he came to the D-backs.
And then sure enough, Tommy John surgery. It was just unbelievable. Here's Chris Iannetta. He's already had a great game. Doubled and scored in the first. Threw out Billy Hamilton trying to steal third in the home half.
It was good to see Bronson Arroyo down on the field before game 1 of this series. He probably spent as much time that day visiting with D-backs as he did his own teammates on that first base side.
Chris ahead 2-0. Iannetta's double is 12th of the year. How about that? 17 of his last 19 hits for extra bases. 11 doubles and 6 home runs. 2-2. Well, we saw Castillo at Chase Field a couple of weeks ago just routinely throwing 100 miles an hour. It was just such easy gas. Looks like he's toned it down just a little bit here today. Or he hasn't quite got it cranked up yet.
If you're not loose by now, you're not going to get loose. It's one of those days you can warm up your arm by shaking hands.
Jake Lamb, a 3-run homer on deck. Castillo in that start July 8th at Chase Field. 6 2/3 scoreless, gave up only 3 hits, had 8 strikeouts. Just a dominant fastball and a really good changeup. Brought the heat there at 99. CI just gets a piece to stay alive. Castillo was brought up to the Reds straight from AA Pensacola late last month. He was 4-4 in 14 starts at AA. 81 strikeouts in 80 innings. Iannetta bidding for another extra base hit that gets to the wall. Chris Iannetta, the extra base hit machine, is in there with his second double in 2 at bats and his 13th on the year. He is something else, boy. Chris Iannetta, 18 of his last 20 hits for extra bases.
21 of his 32 hits on the season have gone for extra bases. First one was right down the third baseline. This one splits the gap in right center. And Chris Iannetta chugging into scoring position with 1 out in the inning.
Torey Lovullo's a genius. Here's Lammer, a 3-run homer in the first.
Good players playing good tend to make you a genius.
That's a first. Torey would be the first guy to tell you that too. He kind of laughed. We said, "Oh, you got that bomb squad lineup? Yeah, last time worked out. Scored a whole bunch of runs, and I was a genius." There is Torey Lovullo. Just started, had a long day last night, lost a frustrating game. He said he was just starting to doze off and the phone rang in the middle of the night. Hey, Taijuan Walker's about to become a father. It's all part of the job, I guess. That's a foul ball.
Well, at least that was a good news phone call. I mean, you had some issues to deal with, but still good news for the Walker family. Hey, fans, a D-backs home run today means a free Jumbo Jack tomorrow at participating Jack in the Box locations with the purchase of a large drink. Jake Lamb is already obliged with his first inning drive to straightaway center.
Oh, listen to that. Just a hanger from Castillo. Jake's 21st of the year now with 73 runs batted in to lead the team. I'm going to guess generally managers aren't too fond of middle of the night phone calls.
No. I had more than a few of those, and none of them were good news.
Well, as you said, certainly good news for Taijuan and Heather. And they had the off day Monday, so they were able to slide Patrick Corbin in there today. And get Matt Cook here from Reno. Lays off that fastball. Boy, Jake Lamb almost never chases that pitch. His plate discipline has just gotten so good this year. 3-2 now.
Well, you know what Dirty Harry Callahan used to say, a man has got to know his limitations. And if it's a pitch you can't get to and you can't do anything with, why swing at it?
So many guys chase those high fastballs trying to be a big hitter, especially, you know, batting third or fourth in the lineup. This one is slicing toward the left field line. Duvall coming in. 2 outs.
Well, Jake Lamb is such a good low ball hitter, especially pitches from the middle of the plate in. That's his power zone. That's where he can really drive the ball to any part of the ballpark. And also pitches that are, you know, belt high out over the plate. We've seen him hit them out to the opposite field, but he's much more effective when he's looking for those low pitches.
Goldie grounded out his first time up. Where's Iannetta, the runner at second, and 2 outs. Goldie right now with an 11-game hitting streak. He's also hit safely in 17 consecutive road games. Two big reasons why Torey Lovullo likes Goldie cleanup. One, if it's the first inning, gives him potentially a better chance of coming up to bat with men already on base, more RBI opportunities. And also, if you do go down 1-2-3 in the first, then Goldie with that .430 on base percentage is going to get on base leading off the second ahead of somebody, ideally JD Martinez, right behind him. So it really is a twofold payoff for Torey Lovullo, with Lamb hitting third and Goldie fourth.
You try to be optimistic and say, well, you know, if some of the first 3 guys get on base, we'll have Goldie up to the plate in the first inning with a chance to do some damage. And if we happen to go down 1-2-3, you've got Goldie leading off the second inning. That's not a bad deal either.
Something that Torey's been thinking about for a couple of weeks, and just the addition of JD Martinez, where you could plug into the 5 spot. It just made sense to do it yesterday. Chris Herman batting 5th here today with Martinez off. He's on deck. Here's that hard fastball from Castillo. Goldie strikes out. He strands the one out double. 3-0 Diamondbacks. Kids free weekend at Chase Field. Diamondbacks are giving all kids 15 and younger free tickets to any home game this weekend against Bryce Harper and the Washington Nationals. That's coming up July 21st through the 23rd. Get 2 free kids tickets with the purchase of an adult ticket. D-backs and Nats. Call 602-514-8400 or log on to dbacks.com/kids. Get the kids out to the park this weekend.
Even if they don't like baseball, let them come out and dance for a while.
Just let them run around, get tired.
Yeah.
Scott Schebler leads off the third. Now that's a great deal. You can get 2 free kids tickets ages 15 and younger with the purchase of 1 adult ticket, and that goes for the bleachers, the bullpen reserve, baseline reserve, club infield, outfield reserve. All the information on the promo can be found at dbacks.com/kids. And we hope to see you out there at the ballpark. Good to be back home this weekend. Big series coming up against the Washington Nationals. And then the Atlanta Braves come rolling in Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Schebler's 22 homers already a career high. He's hitless in the series, 0 for 7. Did walk twice last night, but he's struck in a 3 for 28 skid right now. Rolls one the other way. Jake Lamb bobbles it, recovers, and throws him out. Adrian Johnson down there is out at first.
Yeah, unfortunately, that ball hit pretty hard to the left side of the infield. Jake couldn't come up with it cleanly, but makes the bare hand play and fires across to Goldie just in time to get Schebler over there at first base.
Ooh. Yeah, they got him by half a step.
Yeah.
Good recovery, 1 away. 6 in a row retired by Corbin. Here's the shortstop, Jose Peraza. Peraza singled and walked Tuesday night. He was 0 for 2 here last night. 252 and 4 homers. Corbin's got it. Came right back to the glove nicely there for Patrick. 2 down.
Hey fans, the day after every D-backs win, get 50% off all pizzas at regular menu price using promo code DBACKS50 at papajohns.com. Boy, that would have come in handy about 12:30 last night.
Yeah. You ain't kidding. What did we do last night? We did 3 hours 59 minutes. Yeah, time we got back to the hotel was about what, midnight?
Yeah, a little after maybe.
The pitcher Luis Castillo. And then up early again today. Over the mound. Marte can't get there. It rolls into left center. Tell really had to go a long way just to get a glove on that one. And that's the second hit for the Reds.
Marte ranging far to his left right there. That ball just got by him. It looked like he was going to try to go into a slide, plant that right foot, and then come up firing to first base, but the ball just shot by him on into center field.
So a 2-out infield single by the pitcher brings up the leadoff man Billy Hamilton. That's Castillo's first career base hit. Here's Hamilton, who doubled to lead off the game for Cincinnati. Was thrown out by Chris Iannetta trying to steal third.
Yeah, last night he was gunned down by Jeff Mathis at second base. Yeah, one of the quickest releases we've seen in a while, and another perfect throw, perfect tag at the other end by Brandon Drury that time. Boy, just great throws by Mathis last night, and then Chris Iannetta today from his knees. I mean, you can't put it any better than that. Right in front of the bag, nowhere for Billy Hamilton to go. I mean, that's really impressive. This guy is one of the premier base stealers ever in the game. And the Diamondbacks have caught him twice.
First time it's happened to Billy Hamilton in the same series in more than 3 years. Both the two new catchers brought in by Mike Hazen and Jared Porter in the new front office as the Diamondbacks brass really decided to redefine what the catching position would be here in Arizona. And it has really worked out well. It's paid so many dividends with this young pitching staff. Defensively, they've had big hits as well. Here's a pop-up. Third base side for Lamb. We are through 3 in Cincinnati. Diamondbacks lead the Reds 3-0. First of the year, all the scoring so far. Fans, MLB.tv. It's every night, every device. You can watch every out-of-market regular season game live. Plus, get a free subscription to At-Bat Premium, which is the #1 app for live baseball. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Check out MLB.tv for details.
Partner, this might be my favorite highlight so far this summer.
I know what's coming.
Pop up to the left side, watch Jake Lamb coming in, kind of a hazy sunny day here, and he flips down his shades and makes the play. I love it.
The flip down.
Yeah, very functional.
Boy, this is your game. We've had maybe the perfect throw by the catcher to nail the best base stealer in the game, and now flip down shades on a sunny day.
Beautiful thing. They invented those for a reason. Jake Lamb just showed you why. Sun peeking in and out from behind the clouds. Just reach up and flip down the shades. No worries.
Yeah, our director Brian Moss says we get somebody out there with stirrup socks and you'll have to trifecta. Chris Herman batting 5th and in right field today. He'll lead off the 4th. Rookie right-hander Luis Castillo, just his 6th major league start. His only win against the Diamondbacks earlier this month at Chase Field, but the D-backs lead this one 3-zip. Think about Castillo. You and I did not televise that game. I was home feet up on the coffee table watching, but he just got stronger and stronger and more dominant as that game wore on. And he didn't get the chance to do that here today because they started off Descalso walk, Iannetta double, Lamb homer. So 3 batters in, 3-0. So he didn't get a chance to settle in at all, and that might be a big advantage here.
I would say it all the time about good pitchers. Usually if you're going to get to them, you get to them early before they settle in, and the Diamondbacks did a nice job of ambushing Castillo today.
Herminator looks at a 3-0 fastball. Chris Owings on deck. Hard to short. Tough hop for Peraza. Knocks him down, but he throws him out. That was a bullet right to the shortstop. Chris Owings popped up his first time today, and at second base with Ketel Marte at shortstop. As Tor Lavello told us, he went full bomb squad with the lineup today. Got an outfield of Descalso, Blanco, Herman left to right. Marte at shortstop, Owings at second.
And that slider low and away, that's really been an issue recently for Chris Owings. Just can't seem to lay off that pitch, and that's about all he sees.
That one drifted back over the plate just a bit, but it's 0-2. Yeah, that's been CO's kryptonite for a couple of years now. So good on those inside fastballs, but seems to chase that stuff down and away. 60 pitches, 36 strikes for Castillo. Lays off a fastball, and it's 1-2. That one drifted well back over the plate. Still 1-2.
He just said Chris Owings quick inside on that fastball. He just turned one around, hit it right over the third base dugout, and that pitch was well off the plate inside.
He really likes it in there.
Here comes the slider. Another hanger.
Yeah, he's missing with that pitch badly right now. That's a pitch that he's only recently added, Castillo. He was pretty much fastball changeup, still trying to learn that breaking ball. Broken bat, reaches out and taps it back to the mound. 2 down.
Hey fans, anytime the D-backs score 5 runs or more, Taco Bell is giving away 3 free tacos with the purchase of a large drink between 4 and 6 the following day at participating locations.
Shortstop Ketel Marte grounded out his first time up. Luis Castillo was originally signed by the Giants out of the Dominican Republic. That was 6 years ago. Traded to Miami as part of a deal for infielder Casey McGee before the 2015 season. Went back and forth, Marlins, Padres, and the Reds picked him up not too long ago. Works a 1-2-3-4. Diamondbacks lead at 3-zip.
heat of the day right now. The temperature is 88. It feels like 104 though on the field here with the humidity. Jody Jackson here by the dugout, and like I said, it's about 1:30 here. This is the heat of the day. It will get a little bit hotter. Now, most of the guys have been told by their trainers, of course, headed by Ken Crenshaw, you got to get hydrated going into this game. It's too late if you're just doing it during the game. So they've worked on that last night and this morning, but it's the old-fashioned way, right? You guys go with the ammonia towels, bucket, a little bit of ammonia water, ice cold water, and the guys know to go over there and get a little bit of relief. That'll make you feel better. It won't help you internally, but one thing Patrick Corbin was doing when he was down here taking his break, he was down in front of a fan that's on the way to the clubhouse, and that's probably the biggest relief you can get.
Well, I think we've certainly played on hotter and more humid days than right now. There is a nice little breeze sort of blowing out to left center field, so it's toasty, but it's not terrible.
I'll tell you, those ammonia towels, oh, those are lifesavers. It's like a slushy water that you put some ammonia in there and get that towel out of the cooler, wrap it over your head, and take deep breaths of that ammonia. It's cold air going into your lungs. It's very, very refreshing.
Eugenio Suarez leads off the fourth, and he gets into one. Descalso is going to watch this one go. And Eugenio Suarez, his 14th, the Reds on the board. It's a 3-1 D-backs lead. Well, Suarez has got some pop last year, 21 home runs. He knocked 70, and he gets the Reds on the board.
And this ballpark plays so small that everything looks like a blast, but this was a blast. Hit it off the facing of the second deck out there in deep left center field. And you see the reading on the radar gun there, 81 miles an hour, just left it up and over the heart of the plate.
Here's Joey Votto. This is Patrick Corbin's 20th start of the year. That was his 18th home run given up. Votto grounded out his first time up today. Votto's on a big home run pace. He's got 26, had 26 at the All-Star break, the most he's ever had at the break in his career. And in typical Joey Votto fashion, 26 home runs, split evenly home and away. Three more homers and he'll match his total from each of the last 2 years. He had 29 in 2015 and 16. It's the 1-2 pitch into center. A home run and a single open up the Reds' fourth against Patrick Corbin.
There was such a controversy here in Cincinnati a few years ago when Joey Votto kept saying, I'm not going to swing at bad pitches, I'm just going to take my walks. And a lot of the fans didn't want to hear that from one of their middle of the lineup run producers. They wanted to see Joey Votto expand his zone, start driving in more runs. Well, those fans have to be happy this year.
Well, it's funny because he's got the 26 homers, but he still leads the major leagues in walks.
Yep.
So he's looked at life from both sides now, as someone once said. Here's Adam Duvall. You never know when Joni Mitchell's going to pop up, do you? Duvall popped up his first time up today. So Duvall 1 for 10 in this series. He struck out 4 times. But he's ahead here, 2 balls and no strikes. This guy's a 20 home run guy, Adam Duvall. Right now 3rd in the National League in extra base hits. Patrick Corbin has pitched pretty well lately. Didn't have a whole lot to show for it. Patrick gave up only 2 runs in 5 innings at Atlanta Saturday. matched a season high 9 strikeouts against these Reds 2 starts ago at Chase Field. But even though Patrick is winless in his last 5 starts, his ERA over that span is a pretty solid 3.18. Up the middle and by Owings into center. The Reds will run in on the Suarez homer. 2 on and nobody out for Scooter Gennett.
Just out of the reach of Chris Owings. Diamondbacks for Duvall play pretty much straight up all the way around. He's a guy that'll spray the ball all over the field. Sends this one right back over the mound. And CO cheating up the middle just a little bit, but can't quite get there. Right at the cut of the grass.
Scooter Gennett tapped back to the mound in his first at bat today. A run is in, first and second, nobody out. Gennett is a threat to take it deep. 16 home runs this year, a career high already for him. And he's hitting nearly .350 in July with 4 homers. So he's had a good month at the plate. Singled twice in the game last night. Roller that stays fair over the bag. Long throw for Lamb, and they got him. But Jake did not step on the bag. The force was on. And so Votto was in at third, Duvall at second. Brian Price wants to take a look at that close play at first.
Jake could have very easily gotten the force play at third here. That ball hit right down the line, come in 3 steps, tag the bag. Joey Votto wasn't even in your picture yet. I mean, he even took a look at Votto right there, saw that he was only halfway to third base, but elected to throw across the diamond anyway. Scooter Gennett runs pretty well.
Reds are going to challenge this, and that's why right there. Looked like he beat it out. That bounced all the way up the chalk on that third base line and went right over the bag. It looked almost certain to go foul, but somehow it just stayed fair.
I think he caught it right off the end of the bat and had some side English on it. Normally a ball like that would roll into foul territory and stay foul, but because of the spin on the ball, it actually came back into fair territory.
Looks like the Reds are likely to win this challenge. If they do, it'll be bases loaded and nobody out for Devin Mesoraco. Here's another look.
Yeah, I'm afraid we're not going to like this outcome.
And the results are in from New York. He is safe at first. So 4 straight hits open up the Reds' 4th inning. Suarez homered, singles by Votto, Duvall, and now Gennett. Mike Butcher out to the mound. In a 3-1 game, bases loaded, no outs for Mesoraco.
Hey, you D-back season ticket holders, you get a lot of perks like choosing the best seats, getting the best prices, concession discounts, early entry into Chase Field, special access to events, and much, much more. Season ticket holders, keep your eyes open. Look out for your 2018 season ticket renewal via email tomorrow, Friday, July 21st. For more information about season tickets, visit dbacks.com/advantage.
Mesoraco's been out with a left shoulder strain. He was rehabbing in the minors earlier this week with AAA Louisville and hit a grand slam. He struck out his first time up today. Bases full, nobody out. Joey Votto at third, Adam Duvall at second, and Scooter Gennett is the runner at first. Ball 1. Mesoraco only 41 games this year because of that shoulder injury. He's got 6 home runs. 2-0. Patrick 50 pitches, 35 for strikes. 3 balls and no strikes. Scott Schebler is the on-deck hitter. One is lifted in the air, very short left center. Who's got it? Ketel Marte drifts out there. Patrick Corbin gets his first out here in the 4th.
Pop-up priorities. And between the second baseman and the shortstop out there in shallow center field, the shortstop has the priority. Ketel Marte calls off Chris Owings. Both guys were ready to catch that one.
Bases loaded, 1 down for Schebler, who grounded out in his first at bat. Left-hand batter, but remember, this is a guy who's hitting just over 300 against left-hand pitchers this year. Only about 220 versus righties. Plays off a slider, and it's 1-0.
I mentioned that Patrick has been rolling up a lot of ground balls lately. Since June 23rd, his ground ball to fly ball ratio is second in the National League. Only Alex Wood has gotten more ground balls than Patrick Corbin over that span.
Boy, that would be just what the doctor ordered right here. Wind is blowing out pretty well right now to left center field. Another one in there for a strike this time, and it's 1-1. Schebler still hitless in the series, 0 for 8. As he steps in here, he is 3 for his last 29 at the plate. Laid on a fastball, and Corbin's ahead 1-2. The lefties go up there just looking for slider after slider from Patrick Corbin. That fastball seemed to catch him off guard just a bit.
I think a lot of left-handers that have those backward splits and hit well against left-handed pitching is because they look for breaking balls. They figure they're going to see a lot of them from left-handed, especially starting pitchers. And a guy like Schebler might just go up there looking breaking ball.
Another fastball. It's 2-2. Patrick will throw that slider to lefties a whole bunch, about 70% of the time, in fact. He's among the major league leaders in that regard. The shortstop Peraza would be next. A run is in on the Suarez homer. Singles by Votto, Duvall, and Jeanette have the bases full with 1 out. 2-2 on Scott Schebler. Strikeout for Patrick Corbin, 2 down. That's his 3rd of the ball game.
Came back with a fastball in that time. 93 miles an hour right there on the inner third of the plate. Just blew it by Schebler. I really believe that he is a guy that looks off speed against left-handed pitching.
One more big out to get. Peraza tapped back to the mound in his first at bat. And it was back in the 3rd inning. An aggressive hitter up there, the guy who never walks. Fastballs in there for strike 1. That's fouled out.
I would say that Peraza might be even more aggressive with the bases loaded, but I don't know how you can get any more aggressive than he already is.
Well, it's working against him here at Great American Ballpark, which is a terrific hitter's park, but he's 100 points worse in his home park than he is on the road. Patrick ahead 0-2. Little pop-up, drifting back is Owings. He's in front of Herman, and he's got it. Patrick Corbin gives up a leadoff homer, but bases loaded, no outs. He gets 3 outs, keeps it 3-1. Company, Nationals in Anaheim taking on the Angels. Nationals only had 1 hit. Harper had the day off, and Mike Trout did not. There it goes into the Flintstones rocks out there. And the Angels, with the help of the Mike Trout 2-run homer, is 18th of the year, all over Bryce Harper and the Nationals, who are headed to Chase Field starting tomorrow. Our T-Mobile Unlimited Baseball break, Nolan Arenado homered in 3 consecutive innings for the Rockies. They beat up on the Padres at Coors Field yesterday. The Cubs have won 6 in a row. Now the Cubs are only, let's see, 5 games behind the Diamondbacks for that second NL wildcard spot. And how about these stupid Dodgers? They've won 11 straight and 31 of their last 35 games. They haven't blown a lead in 44 consecutive games, breaking a record held by the 06 Cubs. 31 out of 35.
Just keep telling yourself they can't keep it up. They can't keep it up.
Oy vey. Gregor Blanco leads off the 5th.
A lot of rumors this morning that the Dodgers are hot on Justin Verlander to add to an already strong starting rotation.
Oh, shut up.
Just rumors. Just rumors.
That team. Ugh. Luis Castillo coming off a 1-2-3-4. He has set down 5 in a row since the Chris Iannetta double with 1 out in the 3rd. Iannetta has doubled twice today. 2-2 on Gregor Blanco. By the way, the Rockies, speaking of the wild card and division race, the Rockies are off today. The Dodgers are home tonight hosting Atlanta. So a lot of those Dodger people out there just laying around with nothing to do. Probably watching Diamondback baseball using MLB.tv. D-backs 3rd in the National League West, 11.5 games behind the Dodgers for the division lead. Blanco gives one a ride. This backs up Schebler at the track, at the wall, and it's off the wall. It rolls back towards center. Blanco's going to get 3rd here. Gregor Blanco, his 3rd triple, leads off the 5th. That just missed getting out of here. Boy, Schebler's been running back there the whole series.
He got turned around a couple of different directions that time. Jumped up against the wall, very Jose Canseco-like out there. He jumped to one section of the wall, and the ball hit a different section.
Noonan.
Whoop, just missed it.
Oh, right on the yellow part there.
Oh, man. Charge on that one.
Infield comes in for Cincinnati. Patrick Corbin looks at strike one. What a job by Patrick to limit that damage. Bases loaded, no outs. A run was already in. He got Mesoraco to pop up. He struck out Schebler, got Peraza to pop up, and left the bases loaded. Outstanding. Reds were looking at a really big inning right there. Patrick kept it a 3-1 D-backs lead. Castillo already at 75 pitches, no outs in the fifth.
You mentioned it earlier. If you're the Diamondbacks, obviously very aggressive against Castillo early in this game, but starting to show some signs that he's losing his command, and now is when he could possibly start walking guys and really pave the way for a crooked number.
Blanco at third. Nobody out. 2-2 on Corbin. He's off a high fastball. It's full 3-2. Descalso on deck. Luis Castillo, just his 6th major league start. 24-year-old right-hander. He strikes out Corbin on a fastball. 3rd strikeout for Castillo. Descalso walked and scored to lead off the ball game. Came in on Jake Lamb's 3-run homer. He struck out his last time up. The bomb squad lineup in there for Torey Lovullo today. One of the regulars getting the day off. Infield stays in for Cincinnati. Blanco at third after a leadoff triple. Looking for a first pitch fastball, didn't get it. It's 0-1. Boy, Descalso, this guy's been a big bat lately. Last 19 games, he's hitting almost .330 with 14 runs batted in those 19 games. RBI spot right here. 1-1. This is a really good teammate, Daniel Descalso. Very easygoing guy. He fit right in here from the first day. This will get the run in. Hamilton backs up to center. Here comes Blanco. Another RBI for Daniel Descalso. It's 4-1 Diamondbacks.
Well, our State Farm winning combo as Chris Iannetta makes his way to the plate, hitting in that 2-hole today when batting second this season. Only 2 games granted, but he's 5 for 7 with a homer, 4 doubles, and has driven in 7 runs.
Torey Lovullo is a genius.
I think you put any catcher second in the lineup. They're just glad to not be hitting 8th.
Well, as we told you, Torey really likes the way that Chris organizes the strike zone. He's going to make the pitcher work to get to the next hitter behind him, which is Jake Lamb. But also, they're just trying to get Chris some more at bats. He's a very good hitter. And, you know, he's playing a couple of times a week. So ideally, he gets Chris 5 at bats here today. So he's up there in the 2-hole. So far, so good. A pair of doubles. With those 2 doubles, 18 of his last 20 base hits have been extra base hits. 12 doubles and 6 home runs. Lamb homered in the first. He's on deck. Iannetta looks at a breaking ball for a strikeout for Castillo, but the Diamondbacks add another run. They lead it 4-1. Calling all kids between the ages of 10 and 16. If you'd like to be part of a D-backs telecast, interview a Diamondback player, go behind the scenes and see what it takes to produce a ball game, then come on out Sunday, Chase Field. It's the Fox Sports Arizona Sanderson Ford Kidcaster auditions from 11:30 to 1:30 at the Sandlot during the Diamondbacks and Nationals game. Reds pitcher Luis Castillo leads off the fifth against Patrick Corbin, now with a 4-1 lead. Castillo had a single in the third, his first major league hit. Well, we'd like to see Patrick be able to get fairly deep into this ball game. Didn't find out until late last night that he'd be starting today when Taijuan Walker, who was scheduled to start, had to fly back home to Phoenix. Taijuan's wife Heather went into labor with their first child, so he's on paternity leave. And Patrick, who last pitched Saturday in Atlanta, gets the start here today, working on regular rest, thanks in part to the off day on Monday. That's his fourth strikeout.
Elevated fastball, 92, up and out of the strike zone. Castillo just up there hacking, trying to put the bat on the ball, goes down swinging.
Billy Hamilton doubled to lead off the ball game. Was thrown out trying to steal third on a perfect throw by Chris Iannetta. You will not see any catcher make a better throw to nail an attempted base stealer than the one that Iannetta had to get Hamilton at third in the first. Should be on a loop somewhere in Cooperstown, just playing over and over.
Boy, and it was fortunate for Chris Iannetta and the Diamondbacks that the hitter was Joey Votto, a left-handed batter. He could drop to his knees and have a clear throwing lane to third base. Had there been a right-handed hitter at the plate, Hamilton probably steals that base.
Missed a breaking ball, and it's 1-2. Hamilton with that double has now hit safely in 6 straight games to start the second half of the year. On a have to hurry. Corbin's on it, plants and throws and fires a strike. Nicely done by Patrick there for the second out in the 5th.
Nice job by Patrick. We documented what a great athlete he is early in the ball game. He bounces off the mound, gets to that ball quickly, and unleashes a strong throw to Goldie to get one of the fastest base runners in the game.
You could tell that he had that internal clock going and knew he didn't have much time. He planted that foot pretty quickly and fired a fastball down there to Goldie. So 2 outs, bases empty for Suarez, who homered to lead off the 4th. It was his 14th of the year. So he's now hit safely in 6 of his last 7 games. And as you said, sometimes you get little cheapy home runs. This was not one of them in this ballpark.
Kind of hung a changeup out there over the plate, and Suarez caught it on the barrel, banged it off the facing of the second deck out there. Well, if you're going to give them up, give up big ones. Memorable home runs.
428 feet on that Suarez homer. Patrick's ahead 1-2. Fastball missed. Gabe Morales says ball 2. Joey Votto would be next. In with a fastball. He does that so often to right-hand batters, but it's full 3-2.
Especially to a right-handed batter that went out over the plate and got an off-speed pitch and hit it out of the ballpark in his last at bat. Let's see how you like fastballs in.
Missed with another one there. First walk issued by Patrick Corbin today. That brings Votto up. Ends a stretch of 5 in a row retired by Patrick. Votto singled his last time up at the plate. He's 1 for 2 today. You know, the Reds are going to be paying Joey Votto about $25 million a year until he's 40. But you know, he might still hit at 40.
Yeah,
this guy, he's one of these guys, you know, by the end of that deal it might not look too bad. 10 years, $225 million. They will owe him about $25 million a year every season for 6 years after this one. He'll be 34 in September. Yeah, he might be that Ichiro kind of guy. I can see Joey Votto at 40 going up there choking up and hitting a double in the gap. Taking his walks. Two and two.
You know, every hitter has some kind of little mechanism that they do when they get in the batter's box to prepare themselves to hit. Joey Votto pawing around at the dirt there in that left-handed batter's box. We know he likes to choke up on the bat. Watch that right foot. He'll step clear out behind home plate before assuming his stance in the box. Does it on every pitch.
Yes, he went. Corbin strikes him out. Strands the 2-out walk. 5 strikeouts for Patrick Corbin, who holds a 4-1 lead.
This day in Major League Baseball history, Mark the Bird Fidrych on July 20th, 1976, throws his 12th complete game in his 13th start of the season. That included 3 extra inning games that went 11 innings. He was so excited he looked like he was just meeting his teammates for the first time. Boy, what a guy, what a character.
The pride of Northborough, Massachusetts, Mac Fidrych. Mac. He made 29 starts that year, 24 complete games.
Wow.
And that was a landmark game really in the history of televised baseball as Jake Lamb leads off the 6th. That was a Monday night ABC game. Warner Wolf was doing that game with Bob Uecker, and that's when Bird Mania in 1976 just went bonkers and he became an absolute sensation. He was on the cover of like Time magazine and Rolling Stone. I mean, that was something else.
And that was just out of this world, the things he was doing, obviously on the field, throwing all those complete games and pitching effectively for the Tigers, but his antics on the mound, his enthusiasm, his personality bubbling over out there on the field. You know, we hear guys talk about it nowadays. They can't have any fun playing baseball. They want to be themselves. Well, Mark Fidrych was way ahead of the curve.
He would manicure the mound, kneel down and move the dirt around with his bare hands, hold the baseball, look at it and talk to it. He was a true original. There's been a lot of books written about Mark Fidrych actually the last couple of years. You can read a lot about him if you don't know a lot about Mark Fidrych. You can find that game, by the way, on the internet, YouTube, whatever. Tigers and Yankees on a Monday night at Tiger Stadium.
Yeah, that's back in the day when a televised baseball game was a big deal, especially on a Monday night. Are you kidding me?
Huge. Well, Jake Lamb looks at strike 3, 5 strikeouts from Castillo. That starts the 6th.
Yeah, Jake looked like he was ready to throw the bat away and head on down to first base. Change up there above the belt. Mesoraco pulls it down enough to get the call from Gabe Morales behind the dish.
There's Goldie in the cleanup spot. Just missed that fastball. At 98, it's 0-1. Goldie has grounded out strikeouts so far. Fastballs right by him. 3 consecutive strikeouts for Castillo, and now 6 for the ball game.
Goldie had a good rip at that first delivery. The 98-mile-an-hour fastball up in the zone, but then Castillo elevates the next one up above the top of the zone. So tempting, but so tough to catch up to.
Castillo was struck out 3 in a row and 4 the last 5. Chris Herman looks at strike 1. He's 0 for 2. This was the way Castillo pitched against the Diamondbacks earlier this month at Chase Field when he really started to get some momentum with those strikeouts in the middle innings.
Well, he's starting to get a feel for that straight changeup too. Back-to-back changeups here to Herman to start this sequence.
He's at 98 pitches.
He's going to get a feel for it just about the time he's coming out of the ball game.
Yeah. Bounced one up there. It's a ball and 2 strikes. Tony Cindrani, the left-hander, starts to get loose of the Reds bullpen. Well, Castillo strikes out the side. He struck out 4 in a row now, but the Diamondbacks hold a 4-1 lead. Taijuan Walker on paternity leave. Our Cox high-speed highlights through 5 innings so far. Patrick has given up only 1 run. He's walked just 1. He's got 5 strikeouts.
Yeah, made a nice defensive play out there on the mound to get speedy Billy Hamilton at first base. But that 4th inning really showed after giving up the leadoff homer to Suarez. Back-to-back singles to load the bases. He gets Devin Mesoraco to pop the ball out into shallow center field. Scott Schebler swings through a 92-mile-an-hour fastball in the inside corner, and Jose Peraza, little soft pop-up to Chris Owings to escape that bases-loaded jam.
Great job by Brian Henry and our crew in the truck there. That's been Patrick Corbin's afternoon. Found out in the middle of the night last night he was going to start today when Taijuan had to fly back home to Phoenix. His wife Heather went into labor. And Patrick with the off day here on Monday, getting to start at least on regular rest, and he's looked very good. Adam Duvall leads off the 6th. Boy, Suarez led off the 4th with a homer off the facing of the second deck and left, and then 3 straight singles. Reds had a run in, bases loaded, nobody out. It looked like a big inning for Cincinnati, but Corbin really stepped up. D-backs have been out hit 6-4, but they lead it 4-1. Jake Lamb, a 3-run homer in the 1st, the big blow so far. Daniel Descalso followed a Gregor Blanco triple in the 5th with an RBI sac fly. That's been all the scoring. This is high in the air behind second base. CO's out there. 1 away.
That 4th inning, a perfect example how a pitcher can pick up the defense can pick up a pitcher sometimes when things get a little dicey. You may remember Jake Lamb on that Scooter Gennett ball down the 3rd baseline appeared to have an easy force play at 3rd base, but rather than take the force, he threw across the diamond. Gennett was able to beat the throw, and Patrick Corbin bowed his neck and bailed out his defense that inning.
Getting a little dark here. Skies overhead getting a bit darker. Lights are not on yet at the ballpark. 1-1 on Gennett. According to my phone, here's a 30% chance of rain in about 40 minutes from now, but should be okay, at least according again to the old iPhone. Didn't really check in with the true authority, the governor, Greg Schulte, who was yet to be wrong on a weather forecast ever. Corbin, fastball, blows away Gennett. That's his 6th strikeout.
Well, not that I'm complaining, but this certainly isn't what we were expecting here at Great American Ballpark today. We mentioned it earlier in the ball game. There were all kinds of excessive heat warnings, and alerting people to stay hydrated and stay indoors. And of course, we're up here in the press box. We have a little fan back here blowing the humid air up the back of our necks, and it feels pretty good, to be honest with you.
Devin Mesoraco taps back to the mound. Patrick Corbin, 6 innings of 1-run ball. 4-1 Diamondbacks.
about the fact that this is the first time in his life he hasn't really played every day. So how does he stay sharp? How does he stay fresh? Still looking for his first hit today, being in the starting lineup. And you know what? He said, I've been able to have a couple of guys mentor me. Daniel Descalzo is one of them. Torey Lovullo told him, watch Daniel Descalzo. Now, we've heaped a lot of praise on Daniel since coming over here to the Diamondbacks. We see what a professional he is, but that's one of the bonuses, is helping these young guys, and Ketel is dealing with that, and Daniel's been there to help him. A number of other guys have weighed in on it as well. It's not easy to do, and Ketel feels like he's doing a pretty good job at it, and when he gets his chance, he's just got to get in there, and like I said, guys, looking for a hit, looking to start something off in this inning.
Well, he's due up second in this inning, Jody. 0 for 2 so far. Chris Owings will lead it off against the new Reds pitcher, the left-hander Tony Cingrani, on in relief of Luis Castillo. He'll start the 7th, his 22nd appearance of the year. Cingrani pitched 1 inning in the ball game Tuesday night and had a rough time of things. Gave up 2 runs on 3 hits, including a home run to Chris Herman. Owings so far 0 for 2. Just turned the lights on here at Good American Ballpark. Some dark clouds overhead. Off the fist, rolled to second. Jeanette's there, 1 away. Here is Ketel Marte. He was having a huge year in the minor leagues when he got called up from AAA Reno, leading all of minor league baseball in hits. Ketel Marte, 70 games with the Aces. He was batting .338. Leading the Coast League in hits. He's still a young guy, only 23, but he had more than 700 major league plate appearances in Seattle the previous 2 years. He was brought up to the big leagues at the age of 21 2 years ago. So he's had plenty of big league experience, but still obviously learning at the age of 23. D-backs wanted him to get some everyday at bats with Nick Ahmed here and Chris Owings and everything. So just have Ketel start in Reno, let him do his thing, and boy, he's having a great year down there. And he may see more at bats, more playing time coming up in the next few weeks. You may see Marte a little more at shortstop. He can play third. That shin guard on there.
For one of the rare times it actually hit the shin guard.
I bet it still hurt.
Oh yeah. I mean, most of the time guys wear those to protect an existing injury, a ball that they fouled off their ankle at some point in the past, and if you've got a bruise underneath there, it still hurts.
Cingrani missed in with a fastball, and Marte's ahead 3-1. Marte is a switch hitter. Last year in Seattle, much better from the left-hand side. He hit about .280 left-handed last year, .220 right-handed. Fastball away, missed. A 1-out walk for Ketel Marte. Gregor Blanco missed a home run by a matter of inches his last time up, leading off the 5th inning. High off the top of the wall in right field for a triple, his 3rd of the year. Blanco in there against the lefty Cingrani. Gregor 5 for 37 against left-handers this year. That's a 135 batting average. Backed out there late and looked at a strike. That was a Odubel Herrera move right there.
Not quite sure what that was. Maybe thinking about calling timeout, but at the last instant realizes it's too late. Just kind of steps away from the pitch, and Cingrani gets a freebie right down the middle. Cingrani had such bright promise back in that 2013 season. He went 7-4 with an ERA of 2.92 in 18 starts for the Reds. Looked like he was going to be an anchor of this rotation, but just a litany of left shoulder issues have put him on and off the DL over the last few years. Just has never been able to return to that form.
One and one on Gregor Blanco. Patrick Corbin in the on-deck circle. And the way that Patrick's been going, you'd love to see him pitch at least one more inning. Especially after a long night for the bullpen. Diamondbacks used 5 relievers last night. This is lifted in the air, drifting near the seats, left field line. Duvall. It hit off the wall in foul ground. There's very little of it out there in the outfield corners. 2-2 on Blanco.
Way to break your wrist right there. Duvall refused to quit on that ball, even though it was drifting toward the seats over there. Banged that left hand right into the padded wall.
Ketel Marte, the runner at first. That's again out of play. Boy, the wind has really picked up here. Now blowing across the field from really the right field corner toward the left field corner. Coming off the river. Dark clouds overhead. The lights are on here. The air to Duvall, at the track, at the wall, and it's gone. Gregor Blanco, his 3rd home run of the year, and the Diamondbacks have a 6-1 lead. He got it up in that wind, and it carried out to left. A triple and a home run for Gregor Blanco. Big day for the bomb squad. 6-1 D-backs.
Boy, that at bat turned around in a hurry after stepping out of the box on the first pitch and taking a fastball right down the middle for a called strike. He fouled off a number of tough pitches. Finally got another center cut fastball and banged it out of here to left field.
Patrick Corbin. A jumbo jack off the bat of Gregor Blanco. Free jumbo jack tomorrow with the purchase of a large drink at Jack in the Box. Tacos. Can't get any tacos in Cincinnati. Everything's covered in chili. Take a listen.
Good solid contact to the opposite field. Not a tape measure blast, but you don't need to hit a tape measure blast to get it out of this place.
Oh, you don't. Not with that wind blowing out from right to left either. That didn't hurt. Descalso, the leadoff man today. And as you might expect, he's been very effective there. He walked to lead off the ball game, scored on Jake Lamb's 3-run homer in the first. Drove in a run with a sac fly in the fifth. That followed a Blanco triple. It stays fair for Mesoraco. And that's the inning we stretch in Cincinnati. Gregor Blanco, a 2-run homer, his third of the year. It's 6-1 D-backs.
One lead. Hey fans, lots of fun giveaways this summer. Be sure to get your tickets. Add the All-Star Robbie Ray's strikeout counter bobblehead to your collection on July 22nd and keep track of Ray's strikeouts courtesy of Sprint. On August 12th, fans can pick up the Arizona flag cap before the D-backs Cubs game courtesy of Gila River Casinos, followed by the National Trading Card Day pack on Sunday, August 13th, courtesy of Topps. Visit dbacks.com to see the full promotional schedule.
Yeah, that Robbie Ray strikeout counter bobblehead day coming up Saturday at Chase Field against the Nationals. Scott Schebler leads off the seventh. Patrick Corbin back out there. Quick glove hand. Glove save at a beauty. A glove save. Out of beauty. 5 in a row retired by Corbin. Well, he's had about 4 or 5 of those here today.
Quick hands out there on the mound. Once you let that ball go, you're a fielder. You become an infielder once you let that pitch go, and Patrick Corbin has done his job out there on the mound defensively today.
Made a terrific play to jump off the mound and throw out Billy Hamilton in the 5th inning. That's hard to third, but foul off the bat of Jose Peraza. Pitcher spot up next. Patrick Kivlahan in the on deck circle. Getting ready to hit for Tony Cingrani. Patrick's only given up 6 hits today. 4 of them came all in a row in that 4th inning. The Suarez homer, then singles by Votto, Duvall, and Jeanette. But had a bases loaded jam. Nobody out, got out of it. And has not given up a base hit since. Patrick today, he's walked 1, struck out 6. Ahead of Jose Peraza, 1-2. That one got by the glove of Corbin that time. It's a 1-out single.
Just did sneak that one under the glove of Patrick Corbin out there on the mound.
So Patrick Kivlehan will hit for Cingrani. Kivlehan 6 for 31 as a pinch hitter this year. That's a 194 batting average. He's hitting .216 for the year with 5 homers. Kivlehan 1 hit in his last 21 at bats. He's primarily a bat off the bench for Brian Price this year. Only 14 starts all season. Former Red J.J. Hoover warming up at the Diamondback bullpen.
Boy, was JJ good in game 1 of this series. 2 innings of relief, gave up 1 base hit, and as efficient as you could possibly be, just pounding that strike zone.
Hoover Tuesday got 6 outs on 18 pitches. That's hard to do. Patrick about to throw number 100 here. Jake Barrett, probably the only guy who's down in the Diamondback bullpen. Jake pitched the first 2 games of this series, 1 inning Tuesday, 1 1/3 last night. Kivlehan hits one to second. Quick turnaround. CO Ketel Marte, and they roll the double play. A lovely 4-6-3 by the Diamondbacks infield. Chris Owings spins around, gets it started. Ketel Marte turns it, and Patrick Corbin is out of the 7th inning. D-backs lead the Reds 6-1. Like a 6-1 lead as we start the 8th inning. Hey fans, this weekend the D-backs and Nationals games will be televised in Spanish on the Fox Sports Arizona Plus channel. Tomorrow's game starts at 6:30. It's presented by your Valley Honda dealers and streams live on Fox Sports Go. You can find your Plus channel listings by visiting FoxSportsArizona.com. The great Oscar Soria there calling this game in Spanish on D-backs Radio with the former mayor of Benson, Arizona.
Por televisión en Fox Sports Arizona Plus. Mañana de regreso la producción de Michael López. Estaremos con ustedes, Rodrigo López, un servidor, Oscar Soria.
Oscar getting the promo in right when we ran it. That's some nice synergy there.
Very nice.
Rodrigo will be joining him for that game. Drew Storen on to start the 8th inning. Here's Chris Iannetta. Doubled in his first 2 at-bats today. Scored a run. He's 2 for 3. I noticed that you had your mission control over there with all your devices looking at the radar.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. We got very, very fortunate. There is a big, ugly mass of red and orange and yellow that moved by probably about 20 or 25 miles north of us. But there might be a few raindrops here in the next half hour or so. It doesn't look like anything to delay the game. That's my meteorological opinion.
Well, every time I look over there and I see you with the Doppler radar, that's when I get a little nervous.
I just wanted to check. You know, it got a little darker. Lights came on here at the stadium.
Yeah, it got a lot darker. 1-2. Diamondbacks don't know their starting pitchers yet for that National Series, which begins tomorrow at Chase Field. We can tell you that Washington is sending 3 pretty good ones up against us over the weekend. So get your tickets, dbacks.com, and check out some of the Washington Nationals. They'll have Max Scherzer going tomorrow night. Tanner Roark on Saturday. That's Robbie Ray strikeout counter bobblehead night. And then Steven Strasburg pitches on Sunday. So go get him. Chance we could see Matt Cook make a spot start. They're not sure yet because of the Taijuan Walker paternity leave. They had to move Patrick Corbin up a day. As Iannetta looks at strike 3. That one was up, but Gabe Morales rings him up in a 6-1 ball game. Let's take a look at the schedule. It's What's Next, brought to you by CenturyLink. 3 against the Nationals back home starting tomorrow night, then 3 against the Atlanta Braves. And a long road trip, St. Louis, Wrigley Field, and San Francisco. You have any assignments on that next road trip?
Always, always. We'll get into Chicago on Sunday night and be on babysitting duty Monday morning.
Well, you were on assignment for the last road trip in Atlanta. You know, I can't divulge. I said, you know, sometimes when the government calls, he springs to action. It could be state, could be federal, could be municipal. You're there to answer the call.
Could be the state pen.
Nick Lamb's had the game's big hit, a 3-run homer in the first inning, his 21st of the year. Diamondbacks 3 batters in, led 3-0 today. They lead at 6-1 here in the 8th. Never know when the bat phone is going to ring in the booth here. You just usually lean over, answer it, go, yes, Commissioner, and then you're off. Gonzo, you stumble in here, somebody else.
Hey, we do owe Gonzo a big thank you. He bought us a 55-gallon bag of kettle corn.
He bought one for every booth on the row. The Cowboys have been eating it right next to us on Reds Radio for 8 innings now. He's a dandy. Gonzo did a great job filling in for you during the Brave series on TV. Now he's working radio for this one with the Governor Greg Schulte. Tom Candiotti is off somewhere doing mock fantasy football drafts. 1-2 on Jake Lamb. This is in the air to left. Duvall started in, now drifts over toward left center field. 2 down.
It's always interesting to see Gonzo as he makes the rounds of the major leagues after his career as a player. Without a doubt, one of the most popular players to ever play the game. And every clubhouse attendant, every usher, every parking lot attendant, Gonzo, hey, how you doing? Everybody knows Lewis.
Gonzo took care of everybody along the way. An absolute first-class professional. He's got a whole network. You know, he doesn't like to talk about it, but it will embarrass him a little bit. You go out to dinner with Gonzo in the city, and you know, baseball guys all eat at the same few places, down in Charlie's, wherever. And Gonzo will see some clubbies having dinner in a corner, and he'll go up to the owner and say, make sure they don't see the bill. He makes us pay all the time.
Yeah, well,
picks everybody else's tab up. We were standing in line at the new Atlanta ballpark trying to get some food, which is about as easy as it is trying to get out of there. And just waiting in line, waiting for the Chick-fil-A stand to open up, and Gonzo started talking to a few Braves fans, and before you know it, he was buying the whole line Chick-fil-A. Everybody got a chicken sandwich.
Well, you know what Don Baylor used to say? That money doesn't come with instructions.
Here's Herman. Funny thing was, none of the Braves fans had any clue who he was. If any of them knew, the guy that just bought him a chicken sandwich and one of the biggest postseason hits in baseball history, they had no idea. Drew Storen comes in, 2 strikeouts and a 1-2 3/8 at 6-1 Diamondbacks. Cincinnati. Jake Lamb, a 3-run homer in the first inning after a walk by Daniel Descalso, a double by Chris Iannetta. 3 batters in, it was 3-0 Diamondbacks. They lead at 6-1. Defensive changes. Daniel Descalso comes out of the ball game. Gregor Blanco moves from center field to left field, and A.J. Pollock takes over in center. Patrick Corbin has been terrific here today. He's back out there to start the 8th inning. Billy Hamilton doubled in the first. He's 1 for 3. Lifts one toward the left field corner, and Blanco runs it down. Torey Lovullo out to get Patrick Corbin, who found out in the middle of the night last night that he'd be starting today after Taijuan Walker's wife Heather went into labor with their first child, and Patrick stepped up and pitched a beauty here today. He leaves in the 8th inning with a 6-1 lead. Patrick Corbin came in the 4th inning. Eugenio Suarez led off the inning with a homer. Singles by Votto, Duvall, and Jeanette. Reds had bases loaded, nobody out, and Patrick Corbin got 3 outs.
Just an outstanding job by Patrick. It was really highly unusual that he gave up those 3 base hits and home run in a row the way he was throwing the ball today, but when he needed to make the big pitches the most, he was able to do so.
Just outstanding. 1 run, 7 hits in 7 1/3. He pitched into the 8th inning. Walked 1, struck out 6. Ashline called to the bullpen. Here's the former Red J.J. Hoover on to face Eugenio Suarez, who led off that 4th inning with a home run, his 14th of the year. Mentioned J.J. pitched 2 innings here in the series opener Tuesday night. He got 6 outs on 18 pitches. And a nice run here as one of the key setup guys in the Reds bullpen for several years. It's a big farm just across the river in Kentucky. This is hit pretty deep right field. Suarez bidding for his 2nd home run of the ball game, and it is gone, a home run. And Eugenio Suarez opposite field. That's his 15th of the year, and it's 6-2.
This is not meant as a criticism of Chris Herman, a catcher by trade, but he has played a lot of outfield, but I think an experienced outfielder might have a chance to make the play on this ball. Didn't clear the fence by much and didn't clear Chris Herman's glove by much either as he got back there to the barrier just over his glove and into the bleachers.
And JJ is ready to back up 3rd, thinking that was going to go off the wall, but it just stuck over. 1 out, a run in. Here's Joey Votto, single in the 4th, 1 for 3. .365 feet on that home run by Eugenio Suarez. I think the fence is 364 feet. This is slicing out to left for Blanco. 2 down. Let's go down to Jody.
Well, J.J. Hoover, he did get to spend some time on his farm on the off day and during the All-Star break with his wife, Megan Kate. And as you mentioned, it's not far from here, about 30 minutes, Batavia, Ohio. He's got 64 acres, but he'd like to have 640 acres. There is Dozer. You know, we've heard about him so much, but isn't he adorable? And then, of course, they have a lot of different animals out there. He said, you know, he's got some cows, he's getting some steers, and he's really excited, guys, about the addition of the chickens. And so this is just the beginning, though. They really want to turn this into not just a farm of sustainable food and food the way it was meant to be. Of course, a cage-free, cows just roaming, but also it's very important to him. His faith is important to him, and they hope to turn it into a ministry for young people and really help young people out through this venture.
Yeah, there's his wife Megan, she's a big-time animal trainer. She has trained exotic animals. She's worked at the Cincinnati Zoo with rhinos and gorillas. She's trained polar bears. How about that?
Yeah,
that's amazing. This is what they're trying to do. They got horses, donkeys, chickens, grass-fed cattle, growing some hops. Just picturesque out there. Just
really
beautiful
is.
country.
I asked JJ, do you have any water on your property that might hold some
here
fish?
we go. Yeah, sure.
He said there is a small pond right now for the animals, but there's an adjoining piece of property that does have a lake or two on it, and he's hoping someday to maybe acquire that as well.
That's when you'll come knocking.
You got that right.
With your fishing pole. JJ strikes out Adam Duvall. That ends the 8th inning. Reds get a run on the Suarez homer at 6-2 D-backs. So walk to Descalso, and Iannetta double, and then our Chaz Roberts air conditioning and plumbing cool play of the game. Jake Lamb, a 3-run homer, his 21st of the year. Then in the 7th, Blanco slices one the other way for his 3rd.
Well, especially that Jake Lamb home run in the 1st inning. I think that really had an effect on Patrick Corbin as well, a guy that has struggled in the 1st inning in some of his starts this year, but to be spotted to a 3-0 lead, he just went right after the Reds.
Patrick was terrific. 1 run on 7 hits in 7 1/3, a walk and 6 strikeouts. So we've reached the 9th here in Cincinnati. 6-2 Diamondbacks, and the new pitcher for the Reds, the right-hander Ariel Hernandez. His 3rd stint with the big league club this year, and his 5th appearance since he was called up from AAA Louisville earlier this month. Chris Herman will lead off the 9th. Diamondbacks have been out hit 8-5, but they lead at 6-2. Chris Herman, the right fielder, with the bomb squad out there today. Herminator 0 for 3. Diamondbacks beginning play today. 3rd in the National League West, 11.5 games behind the Dodgers for the division lead, tucked in just behind Colorado. A half game back of the Rockies for that 1st National League wild card spot. 5 games up on the Cubs for the 2nd wild card position. Colorado off today. The Dodgers are hosting the Braves. It'll open up a 3-game series in LA. Dodgers have won 11 straight and 31 of their last 35 games. And when the Braves are done playing in LA, they'll be at Chase Field starting on Monday. Two and 2 on Chris Herman. Chris Owings on deck. Ketel Marte after that. Missed inside with a fastball. It's a full count, 3-2. Uh-oh, they need one more strikeout for Pizza here.
Yeah, you can hear the chant starting.
Reds fans, everybody gets a pizza if the Reds get 11 strikeouts.
Once again, I will ask the question, everybody?
I'm not sure you qualify. You have the pizza here in the ballpark.
Yeah. Local pizza company. Yeah, when you only come back here once a year, you have to take advantage of the local delicacies. I know you got into that Skyline chili.
Oh, I can't get near that stuff. That stuff is horrifying. Lead-off walk. I did sample the graters across the tree from the hotel. Made my way over there only once. So Herman's aboard. Here's CO. Chris Owings 0 for 3. Michael Brenly's Red Sox are in action this afternoon, hosting the Blue Jays at Fenway Park, and it's 5-3 Toronto in the fourth. 3 other games in the American League all later tonight. 0-2 on Chris.
I didn't check the box scores this morning, but Michael called me last night very excited.
Yeah.
Said they played a sub 3-hour game.
Headline news in Boston. Fernando Rodney, who has not worked at all lately, warming up at the Diamondback bullpen. They've had to keep Rodney busy with some pretty aggressive side sessions just to keep him sharp. Owings swing and a miss. He strikes out. And there's pizza for everybody. They go crazy.
And once again, it's that slider away. Chris Owings just having a hard time identifying the spin, recognizing what that pitch is going to do. We've seen that same swing way too many times recently.
There's a sign right there that says Pete's free pizza for everyone.
Yeah, I'm an everyone.
Well, you might need a ticket stub or something.
Yeah. Minor detail.
Well, you know people in Ohio. Ketel Marte. Herman takes off for second, and he is in there. A stolen base for Chris Herman. That's his second this year.
Boy, I got a great jump over there at first base. I mean, Chris Herman, I don't even want to say he runs well for a catcher. He just runs well. He's a good athlete. He's shown that in the times he's played outfield, and that time got a great jump at first base and easily stole that one.
Ketel Marte hits one high and deep right field corner, and that ball is gone. A home run. A long homer by Ketel Marte. That's his second this year, and the Diamondbacks have an 8-2 lead. Third D-backs home run today. Only question was, would it stay fair? This one was launched.
Boy, 100 miles an hour down around his ankles, and he golfs this one out of here right down that right field line. Keeps his head right down the barrel of the bat. No doubter out into the Diamondbacks bullpen.
Wow. This young man's going to hit some home runs in a Diamondback uniform. Yeah, I've seen him launch a few. That really was a jumbo jack. Free jumbo jack tomorrow. A Jack in the Box with the purchase of a large drink. Gregor Blanco homered his last time up. How do you get to this pitch? 100 miles an hour down below the knees.
Just a nice easy swing. Caught that ball out in front. He actually hit it above the bullpen out there in right field.
Cleared it. A little more and that one's in the river. day for Gregor Blanco, a triple and a home run. Diamondbacks managed 11 runs here Tuesday night. They put up 8 here this afternoon. Even with a lot of the regulars on the bench. No JD Martinez. Zoe Lavella looking for a series win, going back home to face Max Scherzer tomorrow night. Nationals in at Chase Field. dbacks.com/tickets for that one. And Blanco draws a 1-out walk. Second walk in the inning issued by Hernandez.
Well, and if you haven't seen Max Scherzer pitch, it's worth the price of admission. This is one of the more intense pitchers you will ever see. And he's really good on top of it.
David Peralta will hit for J.J. Hoover. David's had an enormous series, 318 and 9 home runs. 3 hits in each of the first 2 games. He's got another base hit. He drops it into center. David Peralta extends his hitting streak. That's now a 9-gamer.
Not an easy thing to do, to extend a streak with a pinch hit at bat, but David likes this pitch. Down, in, and lines it right back up the middle of the field.
David doubled Tuesday night, doubled and homered here last night. And is hitting better than .375 over what is now a 9-game hit streak. First at bat today for A.J. Pollock, who checked into the game late as a defensive replacement. He's got 3 hits in this series, 283 and 3 home runs. Blanco the runner at second and Peralta at first. Hernandez has faced 5 batters so far. He's only recorded 1 out, and he's behind on A.J. Pollock, 2-0. Guy's been up and down from AAA Louisville 3 times this year. Actually spent most of the year at AA Pensacola, the Blue Wahoos in the Southern League. This is driven deep to center field. A.J. Pollock off the wall. He just missed it. Blanco is home. They stop Peralta at third. A double for Pollock, and it's 9-2.
I think Billy Hamilton thought that ball was gone. I thought it was gone. 100 miles an hour inner third of the plate made that sound off of AJ's bat to straightaway center field. I think Hamilton thought that ball was going to get out of here. As it is, hits about halfway up the fence, right underneath the 404 mark.
15th double for AJ. Mac Jenkins, the pitching coach, out there to say, hey, stop doing that. I mean, Hernandez came on in what was a 6-2 game to start the 9th. Walk, strikeout, homer, walk, single, double. 3 runs are in. Second and third, still only 1 out. And here's Chris Iannetta, who has doubled twice today. Infield comes in for the Reds. Iannetta doubled and scored in the first, doubled in the third. 18 of his last 20 hits have been extra base hits. 12 doubles and 6 home runs. Peralta the runner at third, Pollock at second. 1 out, infield in for the Reds. Swing and a miss. It's 1-2, 99 on that fastball. .26 pitch inning for Hernandez, and he's only recorded 1 out. Called strike 3. Got him with a breaking ball, 2 down.
Off the corner there with that slider by Hernandez.
Now the infield will back up. 2 down for Jake Lamb. 1 for 4. A 3-run homer in the first, is 21st of the year. Now leads the club with 73 runs batted in. Eighth man to bat in the Diamondback ninth.
I'd love to see Jake Lamb barrel up one of those 100-mile-an-hour fastballs. He might hit it in the river.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. He hangs one out over the plate. He'll hit it to Kentucky. 2 balls and 1 strike. This was Lamb in the first inning after Descalso walked and Iannetta doubled. Listen to that.
Right off the barrel.
Off Luis Castillo. 3 batters in, 3-0 D-backs. And they haven't looked back. 31st pitch in the inning for Hernandez is ball 3. Goldie, who has struck out the last 3 times he's been up there, is on deck. Hitting for an opposite field home run, and there it goes! Jake Lamb! His 2nd home run today, is 22nd of the year, and the Diamondbacks have opened up a 12-2 lead. Well, earlier this month, Jake Lamb had that big 2-home run game at Dodger Stadium in LA. He's got 2 here today in Cincinnati.
D-backs offense started with shock and awe. They're going to finish with shock and awe. Didn't go to Kentucky. It went to the opposite field for Jake Lamb, but I think that's a good sign. Just catch by a fan out there.
Here's Goldie. 9th man to bat in the D-backs ninth. Why is that a good sign?
I think for any hitter, if you're driving the ball with authority to the gap to your off field, or as Jake Lamb just did, straight away left field, it shows you're staying on the ball, able to get the barrel on it even if the pitch is away from you. I mean, a lot of home run hitters can only hit home runs to their pull field. I mean, there's fastball outer third of the plate, stayed right on it, easily rode that one out of here to left field.
Jake Lamb, a pair of 3-run homers. 3rd career multi-home run game for Jake Lamb. Let me check. Let's see. Arenado. Fernando Rodney's waiting for a bus out there. Nolan Arenado has 80 RBIs to lead the major leagues. Jake Lamb now 2nd in the big leagues with 76 runs batted in. 2-2 on Goldie. Goldie needs a base hit here to extend his 11-game hitting streak. And He strikes out for the 4th consecutive at bat, but the Diamondbacks send 9 men to the plate. 6 of them score. Ketel Marte, a 2-run homer, his 2nd of the year over the bullpen. And then Jake Lamb, his 2nd today. He goes oppo. A pair of 3-run homers for Lamb. It's 12-2 Diamondbacks. In this series, 3 outs away from a 12-2 win, and on for the first time since July the 7th. It's been a long time. It'll be 2 weeks tomorrow since Fernando Rodney has pitched in a baseball game for the Diamondbacks. Torey Lovullo was telling us the other day that they've had Rodney throw some pretty aggressive bullpen sessions trying to just keep him sharp, but he's out there today for the first time in nearly 2 weeks.
Yeah, not only throwing aggressive bullpen sessions, but I saw Torey Lovullo last night down in the left field corner during the Diamondbacks batting practice, and Fernando Rodney was standing about 60 feet away from him, and Torey was hitting comebackers, hitting 1-hoppers and 2-hoppers. Fernando would field the ball, flip it over to one of his teammates who would throw it back into the infield. Torey would hit him another ground ball just to keep his skills sharp out there on the mound.
David Peralta remains in the game, takes over in right field for Chris Herman. And Scooter Gennett leads off the Cincinnati 9th. 12-2 Diamondbacks. 12 runs on 9 hits. And that 2-week gap is especially noteworthy for Fernando Rodney because he was very clear at the start of spring training. Any more than 3 days without working and he's just not that comfortable. He likes to work a lot and stay sharp.
Well, the Diamondbacks were struggling so mightily before the break. There just weren't any save opportunities, and then you had the All-Star break, and then came out of the break in Atlanta. We know how the team struggled down there. Good to get him back out there on the bump.
But the Reds have been done in once again by home runs. Diamondbacks have hit 4 here today. 2 3-run homers by Jake Lamb. 2-run shots by Gregor Blanco and Ketel Marte. 12 runs on 9 hits, and Gennett strikes out. Reds just giving up home runs by the bucketful these days.
Yeah, Jeff Brantley, the Cowboy next door on Reds radio, came over between innings, said that's 20 home runs surrendered by the Reds pitching staff in their last 7 games.
20 homers in 7 games. Reds lead the major leagues in home runs allowed. Let's see, coming into today, the Reds had given up 162 home runs in 94 games. They're on pace to give up 279. That would break the major league single season record established by the Reds last year. Is that bad?
It's record breaking.
Devin Mesoraco, their own record in this case. Throughout most of June, Reds pitchers gave up at least 1 home run in 22 straight games. Another franchise record. Only 4 shy of the major league record. Last set earlier this year, in fact, by the Baltimore Orioles. Two and one on Devin Mesoraco. He skies one to Gregor Blanco in left field. 2 outs. Jody Jackson standing by. Diamondbacks Live postgame show after our ball game. And then we fly back home. First of 3 against the Washington Nationals tomorrow night at Chase Field. Max Scherzer's on the mound. Diamondbacks don't know yet who their starting pitcher will be. Taijuan Walker had to leave this one in the middle of the night last night. His wife Heather went into labor with their first child, so Patrick Corbin moved up to start today on regular rest after the off day on Monday. There is Mendy Alcantara is the pinch hitter. Matt Cook is here with Taijuan on paternity leave, so Matt Cook may possibly get a start. They have to find somebody to start before Saturday. So they're still figuring that out. There's a strike. Yes, he went. So it's 0-2. Don't forget, fans, kids get in free all weekend long at Chase Field. D-backs fans can purchase up to 2 free kids tickets with the purchase of 1 adult ticket. And we head back home winners. Diamondbacks take this one 12-2. They take 2 out of 3 here at Great American Ballpark. A big day for Jake Lamb. A pair of 3-run homers. 12-2 the final as the Diamondbacks hit 4 home runs.
And it had to really feel good for the Diamondbacks offense to bust out the way they did in this game today, heading back home to play a team that's really been swinging hot bats. Should be a lot of fun. You don't want to miss it, fans. Come on out to Chase Field.
D-backs back to 15 over 500. They're now 55-40 on the year, and they move back into a tie with the Rockies for that first National League wild card spot. D-backs beat the Reds 12-2. They take 2 of 3 in this series at Great American Ballpark. Jody Jackson is coming up. Diamondbacks Live postgame show presented by CenturyLink is next on Fox Sports Arizona.